Hey guys, Blazie here. So with the new Resident Evil movie out, I wanted to talk about the other Resident Evil movies. So one with Alice, one with Mila Jovovich, or whatever her name is, sorry, it's very hard to pronounce if you haven't heard it exactly. So I wanted to talk about those movies. For one, I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I am an absolutely huge Resident Evil fan. One thing I have, there we go. I have these little figures over here of like all the monsters, Alika, Nemesis. I have two different Nemesis, Leon. I do want to get more. I got the dog, I got a hunter, and I got the plant thing from Resident Evil 2, which I'm really sad that it wasn't in the remake. They had a plant monster, but it was just a human. Like, how boring is that? Like, look at this thing. It looks so cool. But nope, we didn't get that. I'm going to be over here. I'm going to be over here now, because I have Resident Evil stuff. So I am a huge Resident Evil fan. I've played every single one of the games. I played the original trilogy when I was a kid. I grew up on those games. I loved them. Resident Evil 3 is one of my favourite games of all time. The remake is poop compared to it. It's an okay game to play. Like, it works, it functions, but in terms of it being a remake, it's awful. So I am an expert on Resident Evil, basically. So, yeah, the original movies came out, and it was one of those things that it's just like, yeah, awesome, a Resident Evil movie. Oh my god, this is going to be awesome, this is going to be great. And it was lackluster. Okay, no, bleh. There was no fan service in the first movie. The very first movie that came out was an okay movie when it first came out. Like, it was a good movie when it first came out. But where are all the characters? Where is the Manson? Where's Raccoon City? Where's anything? There was so much missing in that first movie that it disappointed in that way, but right at the end, where she's out in Raccoon City, is like, oh, okay, yes, the next one's going to be amazing. But alright, let me talk about that first movie proper now. Now that, like, I've seen it a good couple times now, I really like it. I think it's a good zombie flick. Is it a good Resident Evil movie? No, but there's just enough Resident Evil stuff in it that I can give it a pass, kind of. It's not a bad starting off point, you know, in the sense of that it's not a bad starting off point. Like, they do enough kind of stuff. The only weird sort of things that kind of take you out of a film is Alice. While I like the initial thing of her not having memories and such, it goes into her having powers and being like this really great fighter and everything, and it just looks stupid. It looks stupid. Even back then, it looks stupid. It's just so funny. But I understand, like, once, you know, further on in the films, what they're trying to do. They're pretty much turning her into Wesker, in a way. At least in terms of, like, how she fought and such. You know, with all these, like, powers, and it still sounds Resident Evil. You know, the more I think about it, the more it's like, okay, they were trying to turn her into this weapon kind of thing, and, you know, a BOW. And I get it. It takes a while to get used to, because it is weird, but I understand what kind of Resident Evil type trope or whatever they were trying to do. But in general, it's a good zombie flick. It's, you know, it's got decent zombie stuff that to me, like, does still scare me when I watch it. Like, I still have to brace myself in certain scenes, because, you know, the jump scares and all that, and it's generally, yeah, a good zombie flick. Again, not maybe the most amazing Resident Evil movie, They do throw in the liquor at the end, which was really, really cool when I was younger. Now the effects are kinda bad. Kinda. They don't hold up as Owl. But it's still, it's still cool. It is. They got the dogs in there, which I love that they're just wearing meat suits. Which is good. They're not all CGI or anything like that, but it's just a dog in a meat suit. That's kind of great. And then at the end, they throw in Nemesis. They throw in the Nemesis line. Now, me, being a huge Nemesis fan, Resident Evil 3 being my favourite game, hearing that, put him in the Nemesis project, that got me super excited. Again, I think it's not a bad starting off point. Because then in the second movie, I'll go back to the first one. I generally think the first one's a good movie. I don't know if I'll weight these. I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. Honestly, it's a generally good zombie film. Great music as well by Marlon Manson. Some great stuff. And then we jump to the second movie, which is then in Raccoon City, and feels like 2 and 3. Resident Evil 2 and 3, the games. Now we're in Raccoon City. We have Jill Valentine popping up, and she's great. She looks good. I generally enjoy her a lot. She's really good as Jill. We then have Carlos popping up for Resident Evil 3, which, yes, even he is great. He's a great Carlos. He has an accent and everything. I was like, yes. And okay. To be accurate, you need a Carlos that has an accent for like one sentence, and then it never comes back. Because that's how Carlos was in Resident Evil 3. He had an accent for like one scene where he's just like, "Oh, the ladies love my accent. It drives them crazy." And that's the only time he actually has an accent. But yeah, Carlos is pretty good. They have Nikolai in there from Resident Evil 3 as well, but he's so pointless. He's only a name drop. That's it. What else do they have? They got a couple of little things in there. They got the police station for like a second. They have the grave place, which they have like what do you call it? A grave place. Where you bury people. That place. They have that. They have the liquors, and the liquors are great. So they have a lot more Resident Evil type things in there. It feels a little bit more Resident Evil in a way. I'm pretty sure they even do like a scene straight out of like Resident Evil 3 with like the opening and all that. I'm pretty sure that's like a scene in this movie. It's been a while since I watched it. And of course, Nemesis. Nemesis is in there. And I will say, he looks great. Nemesis looks great in this film. Again, it's all just makeup and like a big bodysuit. They're not cheaping it out by using like cheap CGI. Especially back then, it would have been really bad. I mean, like the liquors look a lot better in the second film. But still, they could have cheapened it out. Which there's definitely some scenes they could have used CGI. In a sense, like, Nemesis looks great, but the final fight scene between, like, him and Alice was crap, because it's such a bulky suit, he can barely freaking move, he's so slow, and Nemesis just will, charges at you, he's really fast, but he's not in the film, and that sucks. That part of it sucks. He looks good, he looks the part, but he does kind of suck. In the sense of, like, he is just really slow. We never see his second form, or, like, a third form, or anything. It's only him, the way he looks at the first one. Oh, yeah, it's, like, the Ashford family as well, which is in Code Veronica. That was a nice little nod as well. I think maybe Wesker makes an appearance. I think, or that might be in the third one only. No, that might only be in the third one. I can watch the second one and still enjoy it today. I'll admit, I think back then I was a little disappointed by Nemesis. I still found it enjoyable. I don't generally mind it too much. I think it's an alright Resident Evil movie. Again, though, the big problem with that movie is Alice. because no one cares about Alice. I don't care about her. I don't want her. I want Jill Valentine. I want, the characters, because that was the huge disappointment. Nemesis, at first, was after Stars. He was after Stars, which is his whole thing, is going after Stars, going after Jill Valentine. And he does for like a second, and then they see Alice, and it's like, oh, change his protocol, so now he goes after Alice, so now he's no longer after Stars, and that sucks, because then it's not about Jill Valentine and Nemesis. It's about Nemesis and Jill and Alice. And that sucks. That really, really sucks. That takes away a whole chunk of Nemesis's personality, his whole goal. So, there's things like that piss me off as a fan. But still, it's not a bad movie. I still generally enjoy it as a zombie flick. Like, they go to like a school and there's a whole bunch of zombie kids. That's kind of terrifying, but there's still some good general zombie flick kind of scenes in it. I generally don't mind it as a movie. I generally don't. And I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I'll give it a 6 out of 10, that one. And then we go over to the third movie, and I hated this movie for a long time. I generally don't like this movie because it's all of a sudden all desert. They're basically just like, oh yeah, after it's been a good couple of years, and now the world is just a desert. Everything's dead. And it's just ugly, It's just not nice to look at. I hated it. I hated it. And this is where the editing really gets bad. Because, a lot of the editing in these films are kind of bad, especially during the action. They do a lot of quick shots that barely last a second. And it gets very disorientating, and this is where it starts to really show. So that's not good. They have Claire Redfield in here now, and I love the actor, Ali Larter. I love her. I love her stuff and everything. I've seen her, I loved her in Heroes. In that old show, people remember that. But she doesn't do anything that makes you go, yeah, that's Claire. She's just kind of there, yeah, I guess, but she's blonde. She doesn't look like Claire. She doesn't have the outfit or anything like that. I do like some of the side characters in there, though. Carlos is back and everything. He looks really cool in it. They have LJ, who was a character from the second movie that was just kind of there. He was kind of funny. He's still back in this one. That's kind of cool. Alice is starting to show a lot more of her powers and everything. But this is where it started to go downhill for me. This is where it went downhill. I don't really care about this movie that much. I can watch it now and generally enjoy some of the things in it. I like her having two knight swords or whatever, fighting with them. There's still some scary, creepy little scenes and everything, but this is definitely where it started to go downhill for me. So I'll have to give this one a 4 out of 10. This is where you do see Wesker. I do remember you do see Wesker. And it's yes, Wesker. But he's just kind of sitting there in a room, not doing anything. He seems kind of boring and everything. At the end, you do have Alice fighting a whole bunch of her clones. She just has all these clones and everything. And it's okay, she's going to take them out and go after Umbrella. That sounds kind of intriguing. But yeah, for the most part, I don't really care too much about this movie. But then we go to the fourth movie, and I love it. I love the fourth movie. The fourth movie is so much fun. That's what it is. It's fun. So now we have Claire Redfield again, and now all of a sudden she has red hair. She's removed her clothing, so now she has a red jacket. Now she looks like Claire. It's yes, okay, that's Claire. Now she does seem to be a bit more Claire-like. And I love it. I love it. Now they suddenly changed her, but it's still the same actress. But it's yep, that's Claire. So that's really cool. Chris Redfield makes an appearance, played by... I forget his name. Oh no, I forget his name. I want to say Matthew William or something, Willard, but that's not it. I can't remember his name. He's from Prison Break, and and he's stuck in a prison. They so did that on purpose. Now, Chris Redfield doesn't play, like, any kind of role in this movie. He's not really Chris Redfield. He does, like, him and his sister, like, him and Claire are brother and sister, but they don't really go on about things, exactly. It is kind of off to the side. And not even to the side, not even in the background. It's just not there at all. And that is a problem, sure, as a Resident Evil fan. That absolutely sucks. They don't really explore Chris or Claire. And yeah, that sucks. But I love the actor. I love the actor for Chris. Even though, sure, he doesn't really fit the role at all. Not even for, like, Resident Evil 1 Chris. But I love the actor, so I'm perfectly okay with him being Chris, and the stuff they do there is perfectly fine. Who else do you have? You do? Okay, well, straight away, it has Alice going up against, it does have her going up against Umbrella, and it just looks stupid. For the most part, it just looks silly, and yes, this did throw me out of the film. But they have Wesker, and he's now played by a different actor than he was in the third one, because he's just not a fighter. Now they got someone who's perfect for Wesker. The actor for Wesker is perfect. He is the most perfect casting in all these films, in any film that has like, I don't know, any video game, anything that's has a movie adaptation. He is 100% perfect for the role. I love him as Wesker. Really sad that he's not Wesker in the latest film, because it would help that film so much. Because he is perfect. So yeah, you have him kind of fighting it off with Alice for a while there, and it's just like, yep, okay, so he's pretty cool. It's not till later when you get more into him. But yeah, for the most part, it does show that the world is still more alive. All of a sudden, the whole desert idea kind of died, and now they're just like, yeah, no, there's greenery, there's nice scenery. And it's like, okay, I like this movie a bit more now because it just looks nicer. Yeah, sure, they do go to a dead city, but obviously, you know, that's got to happen because, well, the dead are alive. And then we get the axe scene, the big axe man dude, like, coming in, and, like, the music for that scene is so good to the point I have it on my phone. It's such good music. And Alice gets taken out, and then Claire has to fight it. And it's such a good scene that, like, Claire gets to do something for one. But it's just a generally enjoyable, really good scene because of the music. The music is so good. And it's all, like, slowed down, you know, like, the rest of the editing, you know, is still really quick and everything now and then. Here they do slow it down a lot more. For these, like, little scenes and everything. The rooftop battle is really, really cool. That's a really cool scene with Alice. That's really cool. Really, really cool music again. And then we go to the final part of the movie, where they fight off against Wesker. And the best part about this is that it's Claire and Chris fighting off against Wesker, even though they don't know who Wesker is.
Well, isn't this one big family reunion? Chris and Claire Redfield, you've really become quite an inconvenience for me.
That is, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, as a Resident Evil fan, it's like, oh my god, they're actually having Chris and Claire fight off against Wesker. That's never happened before. Like, in the games or anything. It's something you would like to see more of. Like, come on, bring Chris and Claire together and have them, like, actually do shit together. I mean, they did in Code Veronica, but it wasn't until the very end of the game that they actually met up and everything. But even then, they don't really do anything together, kind of, sort of. Not really, not as much as you would like them to do anyway. Like, have a whole game with them, basically. But yeah, so... you have Claire and Chris fighting off against this really great Wesker. And the best part about that fight is that it's a cutscene straight out of Resident Evil 5. It is legitimately a cutscene from Resident Evil 5. But the best part as well, like, one of the other best part about it is that it was between, like, Chris and Sheva, you know, that character no one gives a crap about, yet they decided to have her fight off against Wesker, this very important character, instead of Jill Valentine, who was in Resident Evil 5, but she became kind of brain dead, but then she's kind of like, yeah, no, you two go off. Once she got Wesker, she's like, yeah, you two go off and fight Wesker, I'm not going to do anything. Because apparently Jill isn't allowed to take down Wesker. No, they had to have Sheva, this new character no one cared about, who's never appeared in anything since. Whatever. It's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay. So instead of that, they then have Chris and Claire fight off against Wesker. They stop Alice. Alice can't do anything. So it's not like Chris and Alice, or like Claire and Alice or something like that. No, it's Chris and Claire going off against Wesker in a scene straight out of Resident Evil 5, and it's so good. It looks stupid at first, but then they kind of fix it up with like the CGI or whatever, you know. And the music is great. He throws the glasses, and he does it. He's such a good Wesker.
You've really become quite an inconvenience for me.
I'm sorry, but this movie is like a 10 out of 10 for me. Maybe a 9 out of 10, but I'll say 10 out of 10. I love the fourth Resident Evil movie. It's such a good, fun film. Is it a good Resident Evil movie? I mean, like, at this point, they're their own thing. I think Resident Evil 3, the movie Resident Evil 3 was a bad Resident Evil movie. That's a really, really bad Resident Evil movie. But by Resident Evil 4, you know they're just doing their own thing. So, whatever, at that point. But is it a good movie? Yes, it is so fun. The music is so good, the characters are accurate and just a lot of fun. I absolutely love it. And this is where they also start to introduce a Los Plagas all of a sudden, weirdly enough, because they were in the game, so let's put them in there. Which looks cool with the dogs. Not so much on the humans, because it's just like, why? But whatever. And then we get Resident Evil 5. And again, I love this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. At this point, I like Alice. I didn't care about her in the other movies here, now. I like her because I start to understand she's not a great actress, but you can tell she's having a lot of fun. She's having so much fun in this role, and she pulls off all these stupid faces. She pulls off the most stupidest faces during action scenes and such, and I love it. I love it. Yeah, so yeah, Resident Evil 5 then, like she's just down in like another Umbrella facility and has to escape, going through all these different rooms, and there's some cool stuff here. There's actually some really, really cool stuff here. And so in this one, you have a lot of the stars returning from like the very first movie. You have Carlos back in here, who died in the third movie. Which was really sad. Like, no, don't, you killed off Carlos? How can you kill off Carlos? Why would you do that? But no, he's back. And so that's great. Sort of thing. He's not really the same person though. Like, they're all clones. They have clones of all these characters from the first movie. Including, I can't remember what her name is, sorry. I'll just show you pictures, I guess. I can't remember her name. She's a great actress. I love her and things. Like she's so fun, and I know her character's name is like Wayne, I believe. So I'll just call her Wayne. She was in the first movie. She was a really, really cool character in the first movie, but again they killed her off. You know, whatever. So it's cool to see her back here again. But again, she doesn't know Alice because she's just a clone. So that kind of sucks, but she was still fun, you know, to have back. And then, but as well, they also have a clone of her that's like a good guy. It's really hard to explain unless you've seen the movies. But they have a clone of her that's like all good and friendly and doesn't understand like how to use guns, or like she doesn't like guns.
You know how to use this?
I campaigned for gun control. I don't think you understand. I marched against the NRA.
I found that extremely funny because of her, like, who that person is, who the actress is. She's always like, she's in the Fast and Furious movies and everything. She's always doing action stuff. She's always using guns and everything. And yeah, here she is, just like, I don't want to use a gun. Ew. That's really funny. They understood who she was and had fun with it. A little sad they killed her off, because that would have been great just to have her around, but whatever. But then we have Jill Valentine back, looking like her Resident Evil 5 kind of outfit, and doing that thing with a little thing on her chest and everything that controls her. That's really cool. Like, it's really cool that it's the same actress as well. I didn't realize that because she looks so different, because she has like different hairstyle and everything. But that's really cool that they brought her back for it. That we have Barry Burton, who doesn't look like he's not bulky. He's not like an old grumpy kind of man kind of thing. He's not very Barry Burton, but I'm at least happy he's there. We have Leon. Leon is now here. He's very chiseled chin. He's got like a really muscular chin. And the hairstyle works now and then. But for the most part, no. He doesn't have like one side. He's got like both sides that have like long hair coming down, and it doesn't always work. It's very much clearly a wig, but they still have Leon in there. They have Ada. Him and Ada do have a thing going on, kind of, sort of. They know each other. That's kind of cool that they added that into it. Ada plays a big role in this movie now, along with Alice, and they have some really cool action scenes. I love the white corridor scene. That's a really cool action scene. Really, really cool music. Love the music in this movie as well. They have like a new theme song, and I love it. It's really, really cool. So yeah, I love the music, love the action. They have another Axeman fight, which you just use the same music and everything, and pretty much do the same thing. But it's still really, really cool. Yeah, they bring back all the characters. They have new characters. Barry Burton does die in the movie, but his death scene is really cool. That does seem like a way Barry Burton would go out. So whatever. Again, at this point, they're just their own thing. They're not the Resident Evil games. They're just their own thing. And that's what you gotta remind yourself. Don't focus on it being Resident Evil the games. Focus on it just being Resident Evil the movies. It's its own universe, its own thing. Whatever. And then at the end, we get to see Wesker again. It's like, oh, cool, he's still alive. Like, again, great actor and everything. I love him. He's still alive and kicking and everything. Like, okay, cool, we'll get him in the next movie, which will be like the final movie. Because, yeah, again, I have to give this one a good... I'll give this one a good 10 out of 10 in a sense of enjoyment. Maybe... No. I enjoy this movie. I enjoy Resident Evil 5. Again, 10 out of 10 for me. For me. Because I understand why people don't like these movies. Don't get me wrong. I understand why people don't like these movies. Especially as Resident Evil fans. I can just turn my brain off and understand that these are its own universe at this point. And they are very, very enjoyable. They're dumb movies, but they have some good action, good music, and just some bad kind of acting, kind of, sort of, that is enjoyable. But then we go to Resident Evil 6. We go to the final movie, and I fucking hate it. There's no other way to put it. I fucking hate that movie. Resident Evil 6 is the worst of the lot, and in general, a bad movie. It's so bad. The editing is horrendous. It is the worst editing in any of these movies, and just one of the worst edited movies I've seen in a long time. It's so bad. They could barely hold a shot when it comes to action scenes. But it's not that pisses me off. What pisses me off is all the characters are dead. The only one alive is Claire. Claire and Alice. All the other characters are dead. What happened to them? I don't know. Alice just kind of pops up from a sewer or something, and none of the characters are ever mentioned or talked about or anything. And basically from I don't know, the director and books or whatnot that came out about these movies or whatnot. Basically, yeah, the characters are all dead. That's it. We didn't get to see, they looked like there was going to be, this final fight at the warehouse and everything. And they skipped all over that when the 6th movie came out. Which was delayed a lot. And I feel like that has a reason for it. The actress got pregnant and whatnot, so they had to halt the movie for a very long time. And I feel like that has a reason for why this movie just sucks. Because, yeah, none of the characters are back. Or, all the characters are just dead. You don't know what happened to any of them. They're just dead. That sucks. They're building up to something, and they're just dead. Whatever. Gone. Again, the only one is Claire. And Wesker. I'll get to that. But Claire plays just such a minimal role in the movie. She's not even mentioned until, Alice just randomly finds her. It's oh, hey. Good to see you. I guess you're alive. Hi. The action's bad, the music's bad, the editing's bad. There's nothing redeemable about this movie. The plot, the story is extremely awful. I guess I'll just say it, whatever. It doesn't matter. These have been out for a very long time now. They're a good couple years old now. So, spoilers, whatever. I've been spoiling everything else. Basically, she ends up being, a clone herself. Alice is a clone. And the real her is the Red Queen, the one who's been in charge of everything this whole time, kind of thing. Even though the Red Queen has changed appearance over and over in all the other movies and everything. But apparently, yeah, she's been the Red Queen. She's the one in charge of everything. But she's not wholeheartedly evil or something. I don't know. It's freaking weird. It's weird. Again, Wesker is there. Yay, great actor. You got him there. Okay, cool. At least he can do something there. But who cares? But they fuck it up. They don't use him. They just have him in this one room the entire movie. And then how does he die? By a door hitting his ankle. That's how he fucking dies. He's just Well, okay, an explosion, I guess, which wouldn't kill him. Let's be real, would not kill him at all. And basically, yeah, a door came down, hit his ankle, and then he was just kind of trapped. What the fuck? This is freaking Wesker. He can get out of that. Hell, he's got regenerative abilities. So why did he just cut his own leg off or something? And just, yeah, it would just grow the fuck back. No, they didn't think about anything in this movie. The movie is freaking terrible. It's terrible. I hate this movie so much. I hate it. Which is why I have this little collection, but not the last movie. It's all the other movies. It's just the... Let's see. Yeah. There we go. All 5 Resident Evil movies. I don't own the 6th one. I got all the other ones, but I'm not buying that one. I hate it. I hate it so much. It is so disrespectful of all the other movies, really? Just to kill off all those characters like that, and then not to do Wesker justice, when everyone loved Wesker, and they screwed that up, and just... it's just bad. It's so bad. Which made me really worried for the Monster Hunter movie that came out, who was directed by the same person, has Mila Jovovich back in it. Yeah, so I was really worried about that movie, but again, I enjoyed that movie because it's dumb. It's not a Monster Hunter movie, but it's dumb fun. But yeah, Resident Evil 6, awful, 0 out of 10, easily. Really bad movie. Don't ever watch Resident Evil 6. Watch the rest of them. Watch 4 and 5. Watch Resident Evil 4 and 5. I love those movies. They're fun, and yeah, Resident Evil 6 though, really bad. I haven't watched the new Resident Evil Raccoon City movie. From what I've heard, it's really bad. I mean, even just in the trailer, the effects look bad. It looks like a TV movie. Claire just won't close her mouth. It looks so stupid. She looks stupid in the movie. The only accurate looking one is Chris Redfield. Looks accurate. I've watched reviews of that movie, and it looks like it's going to be a really bad movie. That's just tries to be accurate while changing everything. But maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I'll let you guys know about it eventually, once I can get a hold of it. If this video does okay, I guess I'll look over it. I know this video's been a bit of a mess. It's been a bit of a mess because I don't have a script. It's all just in my head, trying to remember things and everything. And I do apologise for that. But yeah, I hope you guys still enjoyed this review. If you did, give it a like. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the Resident Evil movies down below. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because I love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and as Fox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, bye for now.